Hey, and welcome to Stamp with Shel. My name is Shel Anderson, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Canada. I'd like to thank you for joining me today for Lunch Break with Shel. Today we're going to be having a play with the Blessings of Home bundle. And we're also going to be using, I wanted this greeting from the Tasteful Touches bundle. Also today we are going to be needing an acrylic block. And we're going to be needing a Garden Green Stampin' Right marker, a Blushing Bride Stampin' Right marker, a blender pen, and we're going to be using two Stampin' Blends, Light Cinnamon Cider and Dark Petal Pink. I've also brought in some of the polished dots from the mini catalog and a Memento black ink pad. All right, my card base today is Cinnamon Cider, and it is just a standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Now I have a piece of white for the inside, and I had a little scrap of DSP left over, so I'm going to use that just to add to this white panel to give it a little prettiness on the inside. There we have it. And now we'll just add some adhesive and put this on the inside of our card so we have a nice place to write our greeting. There we go. Now we're going to work on the outside of our card. So first off, I have a piece of the, what's it called here, Heart and Home DSP that coordinates with this bundle. And this is 4 by 5 1/4. And we're just going to pop that right on the outside and center that up. Now to look at it, you would not think that cinnamon cider and green and pink would go together, but it looks really nice together. It surprised me. Next up, I have a matte layer and a greeting layer, and I have pre-stamped my greeting on here. You are so special. So we're going to layer those two together. See how that cinnamon's going to make that pop? All right, I'm going to lay this flat on my card because I have so many layers. I'm not going to pop this up because the next piece that we're going to put on here is a doily, and it needs to lay somewhat flat. A drop of glue on the outside here, see if I can get it off. There we go. And I'm just going to pop that down like so. There we go. Give that a press. Now I have this beautiful cinnamon cider doily, and I'm just going to concentrate my adhesive on the center part. And then we're just going to pop that in place like so. Give that a press. Okay, so for the markers, I have to explain to you, I've done some pre-coloring here. I stamped and die cut this image, okay? And I used the Memento black ink to stamp this with. Now, we know that Memento black, we need to have that for our Stampin' Blends because they're alcohol based. All right, however, once I did that, I realized that I don't have Garden Green Stampin' Blends. and none of the other ones looked good, in my opinion, with this DSP. So what I did is, I'm going to bring the image in. I had already stamped the image in Memento, and we know that Memento does not work well with our water-based markers. They smear. If you look really close on this flower, you'll see that it did smear a little wee bit. So what I did is I took the block, I took the green marker and I scribbled on it. Then I used the blender pen to pick up the ink and to color the leaves. The stems I actually did with the marker because I wanted the stems to be darker. When you use the ink, like I just scribbled it on here like this, then I used the blender pen, picked it up, and when you do that, it gives you the garden green color, but it gives you varying shades, okay? So I wanted that for the leaves, but I wanted the darker for the stems, okay? So in order to do that, what I did is I heat set this with my heat tool before I started using the Stampin' Right markers on it. And I did okay, except for on those little flowers. There's a couple of them there that are kind of a little grayish looking, but that's okay, it didn't bother me that much. So I colored the flowers with the same way, the Blushing Bride onto the block and colored with the blender pen. Once I had those done, then I switched and I colored the flowers with the Stampin' Blends, the alcohol marker, so I didn't have the smearing that I had right there. But I really wanted that. Now, why I went with the Blushing Bride, I went with the Petal Pink first, and I didn't like it. That was the Petal Pink Stampin' Right marker. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over that with the Blushing Bride with the Petal Pink and see if I can tone down a little bit of the pink and bring a little more of the peach tone in there. And I'm not coloring, I'm kind of like dotting color over the top because I'm really flying by the seat of my pants here, mixing two color mediums. Now I think that looks much better because it's brought in a little bit of the orangey peach tones as opposed to the pink. All right, now I'm going to use Stampin' or dimensionals on the back of this because this piece here we will give lift over the top of the doily. And I'm going to be very generous with these. Alright, I'll put one down here, and then perhaps we'll get, oh, I might be able to get one in there. Let's see. Yep, that's good. Alright, we're going to remove all these backings. Maybe. The girl with no fingernails is tempting. Oops. Alright, now I've glued it to my desktop. Heavens! Okay, there we have it. So I'm just going to pop that flower on like that. Beautiful. And then I brought in these polished dots. I thought that these pinky, orangey, peachy colored ones would look nice. So we're going to give those a try and see. And these are very subtle because they are pale in color and they're see-through. So they're very, very subtle. Alright, I'm going to put one little one down here. Now, the only thing left that I want to do for this card is I want to bring in the Wink of Stella, and I want to glitter up my flowers. And I'm just quickly going over the flowers. Nothing too fancy. And I'm going to do these little guys too, just to give a little wee bit of special sparkle. Now, I don't know whether you're going to be able to see that sparkle or not. It's absolutely gorgeous. And there we have our Blessings of Home card. And the greeting again is from the Tasteful Touches bundle. All right, my friends, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this Lunch Break with Shel video. Pop back and join me again. I'm here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon Central Standard Time. Bye-bye for now.